Welcome to part 1 of the two-part series entitled The Great Sajin Gunga Ningbo, Vegetarian, Venerated Master of the Saja School. The great Sajin Gunga Ningbo was a venerated Tibetan spiritual master, known as the Great Sajaba. He was the founder of the Saja order and first of the 5 Saja patriarchs. He was also the third Saja Chazin, or throne holder of the Saja monastery, and was honored as an emanation of the Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva. He brought on an incredible luminous era to Tibet with his holy presence on earth, and today we begin to trace the footsteps walked in his saintly life. Sajin Gunga Ningbo was born in 1092 in Saja, Tibet. His father was Kunkunchu Gyalbo, and his mother was Sunam Jil, known as Majik Shungmo. There were auspicious and precursory signs before the birth of this great saint, one of which was the vision by Namkapa Chuje Gyaltsin, revered as the Lord of Mahasiddhas. Even before the Grand Sakya Master's parents had met, the worshipped Avalokiteshvara Kasarpani appeared to Namkapa Chuje Gyaltsin with a very special gesture and appearance. He interpreted the vision to mean the impending birth of an exceptional saint. He saw a rainbow canopy hanging in the air above Kargong Valley, and Avalokiteshvara Kasarpani was standing right in the center, directly underneath the canopy. The deity's right palm was held upwards, symbolizing compassionate giving, while the left hand held a beautiful utbal, or blue lotus flower. A blue lotus is a link to Tara, a tantric meditation deity who represents the true understanding of compassion and emptiness. With this foreseen knowledge, the prophet Namkapa Chuje Gyaltsin helped set the way for Kunkunchu Gyalbo and Majik Shungmo's first encounter, which resulted in their marriage and the bearing of a very remarkable child. Young Saint Sajin was skilled in astrology, Sanskrit, poetry, rhetoric, medicine, gemology, animal-people biology, and psychology, among other things. The future preeminent master of Tibetan Buddhism exhibited many good qualities. His temperament was charming, calm, disciplined, and very compassionate. Furthermore, people who saw him were filled with joy, hence he was named Gunga Ningbo, essence of joy for all. There are 4 main schools of Tibetan Buddhism: Nyingma, Saja, Gelo, and Gaju. Each has its own lineage of teachers and emphasis of practice. The Saja order can be traced back to the great Indian yogi Bharba and to Shakyamuni Buddha. In 1073, Kunkunchu Gyalbo established the first Saja monastery. He was initiated into the Lamde, or path and fruit tradition, a meditative system which would eventually become the Saja school's signature characteristic. Saja means gray or pale earth, and the monastery took on the name due to its geographic surroundings. The Saja tradition also preserves the esoteric teachings and practices of the protector deity Mahagala. Traditions have been upheld to the present through the continuous succession of the Kun family, the tribal lineage throne holders. The Kun family's ancestors are said to be from the gods of the realms of clear light, also known as the celestial race. In the 8th century, Kunlo Wangbo was one of the 7 chosen ones to be ordained as a Buddhist monk. He was also one of the 25 disciples of the venerated Indian master guru Padmasambhava, and represents one of the earliest lineage holders of the transmissions of the Dharma in Tibet. The Kun family has 3 names. The first is Larig, meaning the race of heavenly beings. The second is Kun Gidang, which means the family of conquerors. And the third is Sajaba, resulting from the establishment of the Saja order and the first Saja monastery. The family also appears to have many emanations of Manjushri, the wisdom bodhisattva, Avalokiteshvara, the compassionate bodhisattva, and Vajrabhani, the Buddha power bodhisattva, in their lineage. The 5 great masters or patriarchs of the Sakya tradition are Sachen-gunga Ningpo, born in 1092, his 2 sons Sunam Semo and Drogpa Gyaltsen, his grandson Saja Benjida, and Saja Benjida's nephew Chujalpopa, who passed on in 1280. They are the supreme founders of the tradition and are known as Jezun Gungma Nga in Tibetan. After Kongun Chujalpo's passing, his son Sachen-gunga Ningpo was to be the next successor. However, Sachen-gunga Ningpo, aged 11 years, was too young. His mother appointed the noble translator Baro Lozawa as the interim abbot of the Saja monastery, making him the second Saja throne holder. Baro Lozawa initiated Sachen-gunga Ningpo into Manjushri Arabaza and taught him many scriptures.
Turn vegan? Wow, heaven loves this type of human.
Cherished viewers, let's pause to give thanks to the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to the great Sachen-gunga Ningpo, vegetarian, venerated master of the Saja school, part 1 of 2. As a child, Sachen-gunga Ningpo received from his father the Havajra initiation and other Dharma teachings, and he was a strict vegetarian. With the passing of his father and under the advice of Baro Lozawa, he went on an extended retreat, meditating on the worshipped Manjushri Bodhisattva of wisdom. During the initial period of his retreat, young Sachen-gunga Ningpo encountered many obstacles. It is said that 2 deities, Tara and Akshubhya, assisted him in removing both external and internal hindrances by appearing in his visions. Moreover, while the young Sajjapa Lama meditated on Manjushri Arabaza, a type of Manjushri practice, for approximately 6 months, the great Manjushri emerged, appearing in orange like the rising sun, surrounded by a massive bright light, and seated on a jeweled throne. Manjushri was accompanied by 2 other bodhisattvas displaying the mudra of the teaching of the Dharma, a sacred gesture with 2 hands in front of the heart, mimicking the wheel of Dharma. Manjushri bestowed the following words, parting from the 4 attachments.
If you cling to this life, you are not a practitioner. If you cling to the 3 realms, that is not renunciation. If you cling to self-interest, you are not a bodhisattva. If grasping arises, it is not the view.
Upon hearing this, the young Lama had a profound realization and immediately understood it as the essence to the Mahayana path of complete enlightenment. In addition, 7 swords aligned in one line emerged from Manjushri's heart and into Sachen-gunga Ningpo's. This was taken to symbolize 7 successive emanations of Manjushri to be delivered to the saint's descendants, and his lineage would always be blessed by Manjushri. The inner connection with Manjushri was one of the first in a series of conjunctions throughout Master Sachen's life, and empowered and magnified the Saja saint's ability to grasp the real essence of all phenomena. At 12 years old, Sachen-gunga Ningpo was sent to study Adi-dharma with Geshe Zhongda Dharma Ningpo, who was the most revered teacher in this subject at the time. At the monastery, the monks' living quarters were full, so the enlightened Sachen built a simple shelter underneath a curtain in the courtyard. Already, he was showing little attachment for mundane comforts. While studying, a monk contracted smallpox, and Sachen Gunga Ningbo compassionately nursed him. He then contracted the sickness himself. After his recovery, the young saint received the Abhidhamma Kosha teaching from Dalma Ningbo. He was able to fully memorize and understand the contents after hearing them only once. Many were amazed by his outstanding talents. Before Bajlosawa's passing, he transferred the throne of Saja to the 20-year-old Sachen Gunga Ningbo. One of the many gifts Saint Barj left for the young Saja Chazin was a holy stone statue of Mahagala, or the wish-fulfilling jewel, which is one of the 4 streams by which the Mahagala teachings converged to the Saja tradition. Another renowned teacher of Sachen Gunga Ningbo was Kunjachawa Dalbaj. Among many disciples, the swift learner Saint Sachen was the one that Kunjachawa Dalbaj appointed to lead the monastery after his worldly departure. At this point, Sachen Gunga Ningbo wanted to take the monastic ordination, but one of his teachers said he would give more benefits to the Buddhist doctrine and other beings as a layperson, and that he should consider the continuity of the Kun family lineage. With respectful hearts, we look forward to finding out more about the blessed life and accomplishments of Master Sachen Gunga Ningbo.
People often ask, how do you get your protein? I just say, I get it in the same way you do, but it's fresher and cleaner. Cam Newton, vegan.
Noble viewers, thank you for your devoted company today. Join us again on Saturday, May 7th for part 2 of the great Sachen Gunga Ningbo, vegetarian, venerated master of the Sakya school.